Let's have a camera. I'll fuck my camera. Fuck my camera. Jigala Mali. Fuck my camera, my hidden cameras.
Hidden cameras, what?
Yes.
What do you want from my house? What do you want from my house?
Are you the owner of the property?
I am.
Can you show the Saturday?
Yes. It's under my ex-husband. We're married in property.
Deal with your husband then.
No, deal with the court. We are in court, yes.
We are in court?
Yes.
Okay, it's fine. Deal with your lawyer. Deal with your lawyer.
But what do you want here? Who are you? Who sent you? What is
Why are
going
you
on?
not announcing yourself?
Why
are you not announcing yourself?
They turned back. Until I was able to get hold of Midrand police station, and they gave me the cell phone number of the station commander of Olivenwood, Bosch. Then as this man was swearing at me, I recorded him on WhatsApp and I sent the VN to the commander. That is only when he dispatched a special how to get to me, my house, and the actual layout of my house. They know that I stay alone. They know the security around my estate and around my house. And these men, I let go by the police. The perpetrator is there when the police are arresting the men, and these men broke into my house. But it's called trespassing. It's not called housebreaking. There are damages to the property that were caused by him and his henchmen, 12 men that he sent. I left everything behind, not because he said so, because the court ruled against me for my safety and security and the safety and security of my children. The house is on sale on Property 24. And I said, I would never do that. That's a place of my ancestors. I would never do that. And then I checked and I saw, indeed, there was an advert. My property was sold. It was advertised for 3.5 million, a property of about 7 million. It was advertised for 3.5, and he says,
The 12 men storms into your home. How did they get in the first place? Because that place is an estate.
Until namhlanje, I can never tell you. Access and access codes, they were not generated by myself and my ex-husbands. But when these men came in, they were very clear they were sent by my ex-husband. How did he bypass, and who is in the estate who generated a code for these men? We still don't know.
What were they sent there to do?
To intimidate.
They intimidate you to do what?
To leave.
To drop the case, or to leave, or for the kids to
leave
the case?
For us to leave, they said, we've been doing this. This is what we do. We're going to make you so uncomfortable that you leave this property. Mind you, this is a man that has access to money. If you want to evict me, why don't you go through the courts? You've got the money. You've got your lawyers already. They've written me a notice of eviction. I'm still waiting for a date to appear in court. Why are you going to the streets?
So they enter your home?
Yes.
You are with your kids?
Yes. They're screaming.
Then what happens? They're inside the house?
They're inside the house. They are calling me any name that you can ever think of in front of my children. They're sexually harassing my daughter. They are touching her. There's nothing that I can do. It's 12 against 1 with children. My autistic child is aggravated. He doesn't know what he's doing. I need to calm him down. I've got a son that feels he's failing us as a man of the house, which is what I always tell my son, that baby, you're the man of the house, you need to man up. We are, we depend on you for protection. There he is. He said it. Afterwards, he said, I felt so helpless that I couldn't protect you. They are very clear. They say they've been sent by my ex-husband. Talk to your ex-husband. The first thing they did was to install hidden cameras.
Excuse me?
Yes. You have not seen the video. I'll show it to you afterwards. They went all over the house, installed hidden cameras. I've got a child. We two ladies. Who is watching this footage? Such invasion of privacy is okay with this doctor.
So when you call the doctor, so at that time, was there any communication between you and your ex-husband, or it was just something that was you were living in and you had no okay, so you were now thinking, I'm with these 12 men,
yes,
and this is happening,
yeah,
and they are saying that Dr. Nyimbana
yes,
is the one that actually sent them there.
I only have one ex-husband.
Now, do you call him? Did you call him? Did you ask him? Did you?
I don't call him. How do you call someone who just sent 12 men? They can only be him that would do that, nobody else. I don't call. At that point, it's all about my safety and the safety of my children, and I do not. These men are smoking drugs in front of me and my children. They were there for 3 full days and 2 nights. Yes. 17th to the 19th.
No.
Where are the police?
No.
Where is the protection from the estate?
So that's why I was going to ask you. So you didn't call him. So if you didn't call him, then was there any other mechanisms that you had used for you to be able to seek for help?
Yes, I called the estate. As soon as we saw them wandering, because they started off, because they didn't have keys, he doesn't have keys. So they started off by trying every door, external door, to see if they can get entry, they can gain entry. And they were on the phone with him. I can hear his voice because his voice is very distinct. He's very, it's hoarse. It's you can hear him from the door. I could hear that. Oh my goodness, this is him. They are talking to him. He's telling them, he's instructing them, but go to the back. There are doors at the back where you can, gain entry. Because I'm a woman, and I always, because it was late, they arrived around about 7 p.m. and it was dark. All my doors are locked, even during the day, because I'm a woman in the house. So we always keep our doors locked, and we always keep the keys inside. So it was very easy to just lock because they were locked. They broke in using a crowbar. That is how they got entry. And the first thing, you cannot call the man that has sent the men to your house. I called the estate security manager on his mobile phone to say, so and so, there are men inside the house. He called his guards to come through. He dispatched a Paki. He was not around because 7 o'clock was already off duty, and he called the police. I asked him to call the police, and the guards arrived and armed. But the henchman, the leader, was so well spoken, and for whatever the reason, the guards said they don't get involved. Our estate guards do not get involved in matters like this. They will wait for the police. So
there are 12 men in your house, me?
Yes.
And the person that is the hench person,
yes,
in the group of 12 is the one that gets out and speaks to the guards.
Yes.
And then they decide that they don't get involved in such issues.
Yes. Call the police. We'll wait for the police. When the police gets there, I'm busy with the children. I'm attending to my daughter who's hysterical about being touched.
Can you just imagine?
Imagine, my autistic child is just not understanding what is going on, and they stay and they wait for the police. Mind you, these men are inside their house. Nobody's saying out of the house. We're waiting for the police. Sit outside. They're letting them sit there.
For 2 nights.
2 nights.
And
three policemen were dispatched by Olive and Bosch police station.
Yes.
But they don't speak to me. When they get there, they speak to my first priority is my children. So I didn't even know the police came. When the police come, they speak to the henchman and then they turn back. I don't know what he tells them, but they turn back. Until I was able to get hold of Midrand police station, and they gave me the cell phone number of the station commander of Olivenwood, Bosch. Then as this man was swearing at me, I recorded him on WhatsApp and I sent the VN to the commander. That is only when he dispatched a special unit to come through. That is the group, and I thank them from the bottom of my heart. They questioned the men. They found only 6 because 6 had gone out to go look for more drugs and more and food and liquor. These people were camping in my house.
Mari, what type of a man would send 12 men into your home knowing that you've got
his children?
Child, you've got a daughter.
Yes.
And you're a woman, female. And he's not even thinking, and there's his other child that what is a 20-year-old going to do when it comes to 12 men?
Exactly.
Like on a serious note.
Exactly.
There was nothing that they could have done.
And they said they're bringing more. They said this is what we do. We are bringing more, so and we're going to join you in your bedrooms.
So he does all of this because the children decided to take him to the
maintenance court. Exactly.
Are you suffering now, and you are telling me that you are sitting here and you are suffering now simply because the kids that deserve what they need to be able to get from their own father?
They say, Dad,
suffering.
They said, Dad, take us to school.
That, because you decide that you're going to negate your responsibilities, and from there then you're going to be sending 12 men to come and intimidate your own children.
Exactly.
And the mother of your children, and you think that is okay,
and your friend,
and you are using connections.
Yes.
You are using influence.
Yes.
You're starting from the estate.
Yes.
And you even influence the way. Oh my goodness.
This
is something else.
He started by, when you're sitting and you're thinking about it, this man started from the day we were getting divorced. By using a disbarred lawyer, he knew exactly what he was doing. He knew that if I were to challenge, the validity of our divorce would be in question.
So, grand Mimie, when you got change.
Exactly.
Don't say it. No, grand. Now, if we really look at this thing, and on a serious note,
I was a dodo.
Because the reason why he agreed to the settlement,
yes,
when I knew she did, because he knew.
I had no standing. He knew it was.
He knew. So this thing was a plot from a long time ago.
From 2009, he knew. He knew that when she wakes up, I would be so gone, and when she challenges this,
what men do to women,
when she challenges the divorce, I'm going to say, what are you talking about?
You know what, Mimie?
Because your settlement means nothing.
You know what, Mimie? I'm not going to sit here as a woman and saying that Tina as women, we don't have our own faults.
Yeah.
And I am not going to be sitting here and saying that, you know, the story is also about women doing their own things.
Yeah.
But from, if you really look at a patriarchal society that we do have now, the power and the strength that men had, and the power and strength that men still do have now.
Yeah.
You're looking at the domestic violence cases.
Yes.
And your case is one of those cases that has been there in the court of law.
Since 2023.
And the guy has failed to appear in court for the 7th time.
7th time. He doesn't come to court.
He does not come to court.
He's a doctor.
You are held into hostage by 12 men.
And he gets to walk.
And nothing happens to the man.
Nothing happens to the 6 men that were found.
No.
And the police says no enough evidence. Mind you, we've got videos. We've got VNs. We've got pictures. They are taking the same. They are recording us as we're recording. They are taking pictures of us. These thugs have our faces in their devices. Now they know how to get to my estate. They know where to get to, how to get to me, my house, and the actual layout of my house. They know that I stay alone. They know the security around my estate and around my house. And these men, I let go by the police. The perpetrator is there when the police are arresting the man, and he's left behind. Tell me, why was he not arrested? Because he was there on the scene of crime on the day of the arrest. He's let go.
Say again?
He was there the day they were arresting the 6 men on the 19th in the AMs. He is there. He's talking to the police. He's saying, I sent these men and they're not going anywhere. And he's not arrested.
So at that time the police are there. He's taking responsibility.
Yes.
He's the one that actually sent this.
Yes. And they ask, where's the court order? Doesn't have the court order.
And then they let him go.
Yes.
And from letting him go, then what happens?
And they say they're investigating, and the detective comes, collects evidence, and I give him everything. I put everything on a memory stick, videos and all, VNs, an amount of evidence that you'll never seen before, because we got every angle of it. These men saying install hidden cameras. These men saying they were sent by this man. The man got to walk.
So he walks. From walking, I'm sure you had to go and open a case. You went to open a case.
I did.
And when you opened the case, what happened?
It was downplayed. From number one, these men broke into my house, but it's called trespassing. It's not called housebreaking. That's number one. Number two, it's intimidation and harassment. There's no invasion of privacy. The men damaged my house. The damage is were estimated to about 1.2 million. There's no malicious damage to property. And they get to walk.
So they walk, and then from walking,
there's no, my estate does not give out the statements of what they found, because they were the first men to attend to our call. Number two, there's no footage of these men coming in. 3, there's not a statement from my ex-husband. These are the police. 4, there's no statement from these men, and the estate did take statements from these men, and the NPA is provided with this. They asked for this. I do not know what the police put together as detectives. I understand the detective and the investigating officer to be somebody that puts together evidence to support the case and the victim. But in my case, the investigating officer is for the culprits, not for me.
So the investigating officer, when he writes down the information, he changes this whole tune.
No, he submits.
Okay.
But I'll tell you now that there is no footage, because the notes from the NPA were that statement from him, proof of ownership of the house, number 3. But what is funny is that the NPA is not asking about where is the court order to evict. They are not asked, they ask specifically for title deed. I want to make sure that this is heard. A title deed is not proof of ownership. There is a confusion around it. You cannot get married to someone in commit of property and claim that a title deed says that.
Because you are entitled.
You are entitled.
You are entitled, but yes, you are.
So in my case, a title deed, according to the NPA, was proof of ownership. Excuse me?
So that's how you had to move.
Proof of ownership, no. Proof of ownership is in the settlement agreement that stipulates who gets what from the divorce. How do I get it out? I did not get out because of the serfman.
How did you end up moving from?
Okay, now I see that the police is not doing anything. Criminal case is not favoring me. Then I go and to the domestic violence case to open a case of intimidation and harassment and just domestic violence. I was seeking for a protection order against him, and this is now in December. Seeing that the SAPS is failing me, I get there and the case is opened, and I get an interim protection order, which was good. I wish to see that magistrate. The woman, I would say, because I cannot even crown her with the title of magistrate. She chucks out my application. I was late. On the day of the 7th of April 2024, I was late for the court hearing, and I phoned the court and I say, I'm running late. My autistic child is having an episode. He's now having nightmares. He's got anxiety. He's wetting his bed, and he's just not okay. And sometimes he's aggressive even towards me, and he doesn't know what is happening, and he is now in a space that he does not know. He's unfamiliar with him. Remember, the house he stayed in, he was born in that house. He doesn't know any other house. This is his home. This is his playground. This is his safe place. All of a sudden, it's invaded. I'm dealing with my child, and I say, I'm going to be late. I'll be there around 10:30. Then whoever the lady that answered says, no, it's fine, come through. Make my way to the court. I think my ex-husband and his team were still in the parking lot. I was basically 10 minutes late, and the magistrate calls me in and says, I'm sorry, I had to rule, and I warned him that he cannot come close to your house. And I said, the warning? When I had 12 men in my home? Nobody called me. I called, but nobody called me. Why not reschedule? Why are you taking away my right to present my case? Her first name is Ruth. And she had made a conclusion. You know what was strange is that that woman cried when she heard, that magistrate cried when she heard the whole story. I had a document this thick, an affidavit that I put together, because I put my case in a response, and then I am given a chance to answer. That was the document. It was this thick. I see it is in front of her, sealed. She comes to court unprepared. She has not read my Bible, as I call it, is this thick. She has not opened the USB that had all the videos, the VNs.
So she doesn't know what was happening.
She doesn't know what he's talking about, but she ruled in my absentia. Me being late, I won't even glorify it by saying absentia because I was there. And she said, I'm sorry. She tells my daughter that if I were you, I would walk away from this one, because I'm telling you, I am not going to grant you this protection order against your father. So save your face and the humiliation. Go and heal.
Tells your daughter.
Tells my daughter. I wish to see this magistrate again. I know her first name is Ruth.
And this is a woman.
A woman magistrate. An official that we've trusted to sit in the domestic violence case and bring justice to the domestic violence victims.
So how did you end up moving out?
I did not move out of my home. I did not. The court came to my house to do an inspection in loco on the 16th of August because he was disputing the authenticity of my proofs, of my videos. He said that I'm fabricating lies and there is no damage in my property. So our advocate then said, no, come, do the inspection. You come with your legal team, the court comes, and we come. We go and do inspection. We do an inspection, proper inspection to the house to see what exactly are the damages to the property. 16th of August 2024, the court comes to my house for inspection. It's raining. The slab is cracked because of the water damages. The water is coming, and you could wear, I had boots, rain boots, next to the door. The magistrate is walking all over. He brings his team, he's bringing the personnel from the estate, and I'm saying, and why are they here? The IPO stipulates that you shall not enlist. So the court is in process. You're bringing someone that is not supposed to be part of the court proceedings. And I say, I did not give consent to this woman who is a receptionist in our estate. The second one is in sort of like a groundskeeping kind of a person to see if the gardens are maintained and the paint is in good condition. They come in a golf cart, and I said, who are these people? And I said, I don't give consent, and the court rules that they should not be part. That's enlisting against the IPO that was issued to him on the 27th of May 2024. Now this is post that Ruth magistrate's ruling, because afterwards, after she ruled, I came back in April and I said, there's no way, the police are not helping me. I'm not going to have this man have access to my home because I'm gonna die from here. I went back to the court and then I reapplied, and the court reopened my case, and they said immediately interim protection order with monetary relief, meaning that the damages that you've caused to the property you'll have to fix. We have seen that there is spousal maintenance that is that you were paying, doctor, so you stopped on this day and you are going to pay that. Why were you paying? We went to court about 8 times to submit proof. We were asked for so many documents to be submitted prior to the court giving us that IPO. This is now the new magistrate Jali, sitting as a presiding officer. And I can't say she saw loopholes, but she could not understand why this was ruled in my absentia. So that's what happened. We then conducted the inspection in loco, and the court sees that there is indeed damages. Doesn't only come with the estate personnel, he brings in a maintenance construction personnel who an expert to check the damages. He's the one who said that he doesn't believe the videos are authentic, but he's staying outside. He doesn't want to come inside. Okay, the court asks, do you want to allow the expert to come in? It is his expert, and I said, sure, because I know, I'm sure of my story. And he comes in, does an inspection. The damages he estimated at 700,000 without looking at cabinetry, the bar, which he said the bar alone was about 100,000, without even looking at the damages that were caused by the water to the slab. He says, I'm sitting at 700,000. This is now his expert that is ruling against him. And he says, you cannot stay in this house because there is bacteria that is fatal. I have 3 cases within the estate whereby children died from this bacteria, especially with people with respiratory problems. They cannot stay here. It is deadly. Then the court will go back to court, and the court rules that indeed there are damages to the property that were caused by him and his henchmen, 12 men that he sent. Then the court says, 28th of August, I'm issuing you with a court order that says, fix that house, stop the water from causing further damages, give a place to, was it a place to say? No, monetary relief to fix the damages, and also you have stopped her spousal maintenance. You've defaulted. Instead of 8.5, you gave her 5,000 for the whole year. I'm gonna put this at 10,000 because I've submitted proofs of deposits that he's been paying me spousal maintenance of this much. When we got divorced, my spousal maintenance was 5,000. That would increase as per the CPI yearly. 8,500 was below, but because of the COVID effects and all that, I was okay with 8.5. But he decided during 2023, when the children were taking him to court, to downsize that to 5,000. So the court decided we're gonna put that at 10,000. That is how I got not to stay in my house, because the court ruled that this is inhabitable. You cannot stay here. I left my house with a suitcase, with my minor child's clothing and mine in one suitcase. I did not leave my house, Cindy. It was not a decision that I made. It was because of the damages that were caused to my house that amounted to 1.2 million.
So he had to move you to another property?
He didn't have to at that stage. He had to fix my house. The court did not give me any alternative accommodation.
So where did you go?
To friends, to people that I knew. I was not leaving only leaving my house. I was leaving my house of prayer. As a traditional healer, I had my practice on the premises. Full of herbs. With my ancestors, I had to walk away from that. This was my only way of making an income for my children. So I was now out of work. I was now out of work and out of home.
So you left everything behind.
I left everything behind, not because he said so, because the court ruled against me for my safety and security and the safety and security of my children.
And what happened to the place your house that you left behind?
He took the opportunity of me not being in the house to list the property for sale. He listed the property on sale in October. I received a text message in the morning from a neighbor saying that, Mimi, did you put your house on sale? And I said, no. And she said, your house is on sale on property 24. And I said, I would never do that. That's a place of my ancestors. I would never do that. And then I checked and I saw, indeed, there was an advert. My property was sold. It was advertised for 3.5 million, a property of about 7 million rands. It was advertised for 3.5, and he says, it needs a bit of work. It needs work because you wrecked my house. You wrecked my house, and then now you say you're selling it under for 3.5 million. He court set on sale using a very prominent estate agent company, and I raised it with my legal team, and they say, no, don't worry. They say, don't worry, we can reverse this. Wait, because I was asking for them to interdict the sale. And they said, no, we've done this before, we will reverse it. I quote, they said, Rome is not burning until he says he sells it. My house has been sold. My furniture, my belongings. Like I said, I only moved out with my clothes, my suitcase. So he took that opportunity and he sold my property with a legal team on board who could not interdict.
So, from a spiritual perspective, because you are a healer, everything is gone.
My spiritual outfits,
everything is gone.
All my ancestry stuff is gone, including my herbs, my place of prayer. All is gone. And I made an application to the domestic violence court saying that the new amended Domestic Violence Act covers spiritual abuse. Do you know what it entails for me to be restored as a spiritualist? I said I slept on the banks of the river to connect with my ancestors. That's where they led me to. I was in a cave. There's nothing scary than a cave. I was in a forest where I encountered things that you would never think they exist. I was 1 meter away from a river that I had seen a golden snake, big snake. I was put there. I risked my life because that was where I was led to go. When you say spiritual advice, what exactly are we talking about? These people have touched my clothes. They're not supposed to touch my clothes. These are unknown people. They've touched my spiritual outfit. They've touched my herbs. I fast when I'm healing somebody. I don't touch my herbs when I'm on my menstrual cycle. You send strangers to remove my stuff in a place that was selected and anointed by my ancestors. When you're saying spiritual abuse, what exactly are you talking about? How are you going to restore me spiritually? Because I spent close to R1 million to get to where I am spiritually. Are you going to do I have to now go back to the river Then I didn't know what I was going to encounter. Now I know what I will find there when I go. How will I ever be mentally prepared for that? Because anything that you're not prepared for, you don't know, is okay. But now when I know things that I cannot talk about, who sat with me there, who I found there, who I was camping with, can I really take that chance again? I'm scared. And because they have angered my ancestors, I'm scared. And this is my way of living. You take that away from me. You're taking bread away from my children. You're taking away my core. Who am I without my spiritual guides? And I have been living with that since 2023. How fair is that? You talk about spiritual abuse. Do you know what it means? Do you know what I have to live with day to day? When you have visions, when you have to see your spiritual guides, they are mad as hell. They come to you. When I have to walk around and you feel alone, you feel you've been stripped off. What does it mean? I have to go back. I have to say I'm sorry. I didn't do anything. Does the government understand spiritual abuse? Do they understand? No one has touched that.
So, your children, so you moved and just, they are now, have taken it up upon themselves to pick up the fight, invite you into the next call. You've lost everything. You've lost your home.
Homes, properties.
You've lost yourself. Because when you speak about your spiritual journey, I can see the deep hurt that lies within.
I feel naked.
But that's exactly it. But the impact that it has on the children. I think in us rounding off this conversation, because for me, as parents, we go through certain phases, but the last thing that you think of is to hurt your own child.
You know, Cindy, my spiritual guides, the spiritual gift, gave me so much and gave my children so much stability, the foundation, tradition, culture, strength, faith, wisdom, principles, values. This very same spirituality that you're ripping out from me, it's been the very same that has been providing for your children. Holidays, cars, clothing, food, comfort. This is the profession that was carrying your children. And you close that tab because you are God. and stripped me of my being, and I'm unable to provide for my children. Because you are a doctor, you don't belong in jail, because that's what he says in his affidavits, that nobody can do what he does. There are very few of them. His skills are needed, they're limited. And Bara covers for this abuser. Baragwanath doesn't want to say where this man is. He's taken a transfer, leaving behind court cases, leaving behind warrants of arrest.
How many did you not appear?
About 7. 7.
And the warrants of arrest that is evaded?
There's 4. There's a 5th one that I've applied for. He has in his corner a conveyancer that is able to bypass the systems without a settlement agreement. She was able, she said, this is an old woman that is a lawyer, a notary, and a conveyancer. She knows exactly what she was doing. She failed, or intentionally she did not do her due diligence, and today she's claiming that she's got acute anxiety.
And your kids don't have acute anxiety?
Piece of something. She has changed and transferred my property. I don't care about other properties, not that I have to say that, but I'm talking about my ancestral home, where I make money to feed your children that you neglected.
Change it
to this new owner. I'm told about the new owner.
So everything is gone.
Everything is gone. All these properties, all the 3 properties, were sold during the court proceedings from 2023 to 2020 until now. I've been robbed, defrauded of 3 properties, plus the 2 properties that I now know of, that I've never known of.